Dovebreeze sat, letting the wind blow through her silver fur, lit by the sun. She looked over to Tumblestar, positioned on the tall rock. There was a stressed gleam in his eyes. Recent events had caused the clan to grow distant with each other. Every cat seemed on edge, and nobody seemed to care for sharing tongues.
With Half-Step in the medicine den, he took on the deputy's duty. Gathered me for patrol assignments, Tumble spoke out to his clan.
Dovebreeze padded forward.
I will be assigning patrols while Half-Step is recovering. Palebird, Alderbark, and Nightspots. You three will be on hunting patrols. Bring your apprentices if you have any.
Dovebreeze pulled away, not interested in sharing her time outside the camp with others. Deciding to go on a patrol on her own, she left camp with a skip in her step. Dovebreeze paused as the rabbit skidded by. She watched it roam through the grass for a moment, taking in its peace. Dove slipped down off the rock, padding towards the closest border to check it. She paused as she saw auburn fur belonging to a cat she didn't recognize. She put up her guard, but this cat was alone, so she didn't appear afraid. "Excuse me?" She piped out at the cat that hadn't yet noticed her, keeping her distance.
Bitter's fur shut up for a moment as he turned to see the she who approached. "Oh. Hello."
"What are you doing, putting your paws so close to WindClan's border?" Her tone was laced more with curiosity rather than hostility. He wasn't trespassing, technically.
His gaze cold as he padded forwards. He sighed. For some reason, he felt like he could confide in this more-running she. I simply needed a break from the chaos at camp.
Dovebreeze tilted her head. She'd come here to escape similar chaos. What could ThunderClan possibly be dealing with that has their warriors leaving their own territory? She looked over her shoulder at the empty moor, then back. "Do you want to talk about it?" she asked innocently, then changed her tone. "If that gets you to leave, I mean."
He stood still for a moment, calculating. "Sure," he chuckled. "If it gets me to leave," he said, highlighting the coyness in her tone.
She nodded curtly, padding forward with little hesitance to speak with him.
"Frankly, it seems everyone in my clan is just completely mouse-brained. There was this one day I saw a kid sneaking out of camp, and that's when I turned around and found a snake eating its own tail," he chuckled.
She snorted, watching him as he spoke. It was so easy for her to listen to him. She didn't even realize the sun had set until now. The conversation came to a lull, but the silence felt comfortable. She couldn't help but notice the way his eyes looked at her pelt, as if he was searching for something, but his gaze was soft and kind. A thought entered her mind for a brief moment. This cat isn't your clanmate. Her brain swiftly dismissed it. She quickly spoke to avoid the idea that she'd brewed up in her mind. "Do you come around here often, near Fortrees?" She finally spoke.
"I will now." With a grin he got up, about to pad away. "You might have to come by here more often. To make sure I leave, of course." He spoke in finality as he padded off.
She watched him leave, waiting for his red fur to vanish in the cover of the forest. She eventually turned around, promising herself this was a one-time thing. Never again would you speak to a cat from another clan with such friendliness, right? Once she padded into camp, she spotted Tumblestar, Smogfrost, and another cat she couldn't quite make out sitting in the clearing. She quietly hoped they didn't notice as she padded by. She looked back at her clanmates before laying her head down in the rain-soaked moss. Dovebreeze continued to be bothered by the rain as the sun made its home in the sky. She stretched with a yawn. She hopped down into the clearing, blinking the rain from her eyes.
"Gather for patrol," Tumble said, screaming through the rain. He spoke quickly, running to get out of the rain.
Dovebreeze looked over at Tumblestar as the rain eased. They gave a friendly nod to the apprentice, prioritizing the leader's call.
Spitfire, Goldbreak, Mouse, Mist, and Hyena Frost. You four will go on a hunting patrol. Spitfire will lead this patrol. Tumble nodded to the cat he assigned as lead. Smogfrost, I want you to lead a patrol with Dovebreeze, Shriek, Tears, and Sandscuff. Tumble gave a kind nod to Smogfrost.
Smog's ears perked up at the mention of his name. He dipped his head in acknowledgement. Dove nodded, looking to Smogfrost. Let's get started. He stood to his paws. Dove followed, whiskers twitching. Dove's tail twitched as she saw a familiar figure. Smogfrost, she chirped, catching up. Oh, yeah, Dovebreeze? Last night, when I patrolled the Fortree's border on my own, I caught a strange scent. Do you mind if I separate from the group to recheck it quickly? Smogfrost furrowed his brow. Huh, I suppose. Just be careful. Dovebreeze nodded. If I don't get back before you return to camp, I'll report what I find once I see you again. She patted off before he could protest. Another chaotic evening, Dovebreeze teased, studying his posture as he peered down at the great rock.
Not chaotic per se, just eventful. I'm soon to be leader. He spoke as if it were a matter of fact. So, I'm simply admiring the view of what I may soon know much more fondly.
Autumnstar is dying? She questioned without much urgency, not sure if she believed him. She also hadn't yet realized it was ThunderClan's deputy she was speaking to. Oh gosh.
Yes, she has been leader for more moons than most. She's fallen ill, I'm afraid. StarClan seems to point to her final moons approaching. He stares up to the sky, longingly.
Dovebreeze looked to the ground. OneClan isn't doing too well either. Half-Step is also sick, and before that, there was an incident. She hesitated to share her clan's information, but he had obviously trusted her with his.
I know I'm ready to lead. I know I can make ThunderClan better, stronger. I'm more than ready to do what is needed. Ambition and pride filled his gaze and pelt.
I don't doubt that. She averted her gaze as he dismissed what she'd said. He was too focused on his own troubles, she thought. She crouched down, countering his worries with a playful shine in her eyes. So, what's your name, stranger?
He blinked. How improper of me. I forgot to lend you my name. I'm Bitterclaw. A spark in his eye. But don't get used to calling me that for long. A slight pause. And yourself?
Dovebreeze. She offered her name to him without pause. If you're feeling fun, you can call me Dove. That's assuming we meet again, she added nervously, realizing the implication.
He fully turned his attention to her. Dovebreeze. Gentle, yet captivating. I do hope I see you again. Caring not for juxtapositions or implications.
Dovebreeze's whiskers twitched as he spoke, though she offered no other response as she concealed her excitement. That's what she had wanted to hear. Sometime soon, then, she chirped before leaving. Dove slid into her nest, not even thinking to speak to Smog. The sun had fallen while she was padding back to camp. He almost didn't see the she-cat, but he recognized the light body in the back. Dovebreeze, he prodded the she-cat with a paw. Dovebreeze, wake up! It's sun high! Dove lifted her head groggily, eyes resting on the ungracefully tall Tom. Wha? Oh! An expectant frown overtook his features. You know, you never reported back your findings from that patrol. Nights ago. Dovebreeze blinked. She looked away from Smog for a moment to think. She had been slacking bad. Why are you acting like a deputy? She teased, trying to remain friendly. Can we talk? Smogfrost, slightly taken aback, nodded in agreement. I just disliked explaining your whereabouts to Tumblestar. Did you want to talk outside? Yes. Dovebreeze stood, gesturing for him to follow with her tail. She rested against the warm stone, calming herself before speaking what had been stirring in her mind. Smogfrost is a trustworthy cat. I've been chasing... Dovebreeze gestured with a paw. A Tom. And it's confusing me. Well, Dovebreeze, he stated. What? He stared ahead quietly and thought. Many decisions in our lives will leave us in unknown territory. However, I think you should do what's best for you. It's not a matter of that, Dovebreeze spoke softly. Clearly, it's affecting my warrior duties. We've spent quite a few nights together.
And then Mousepout runs in all crazy. It was quite the sight. So Autumnstar walks into the clearing and sees me absolutely coated in honey. leaving me again to clean up all their mess.
I think you have a stick in your fur.
I just know I'll be a great leader someday.
I'm sure of it, she chuckled, pushing his head away with a gentle paw. But I can't tell if he likes me. He's very self-focused. She tried to use kind words. I want to make sure this is right. You need a healthy balance. He tread carefully, as to not stress the she further. It was clear she was troubled. You're a capable warrior, Dovebreeze. With time, it should be clearer. She nodded. Thank you. She took comfort in knowing Smogfrost had approached this kind of situation before, whether he knew it or not. I'll try to be more focused on my patrols. I appreciate that. It was stressful to explain to Tumblestar that I had no idea where you were. He cracked a light joke to ease the air. I believe you can do it. Dovebreeze gave a friendly purr before turning back towards the camp. Dove looked out into camp, thinking of Smogfrost's words. The thought crossed her mind to be more open with Bitterstar, and see where it led them. Bitterclaw? She dipped her head in greeting as she stepped in next to him.
A grin spilled across his face as he turned to her. Not so fast. You're no longer speaking to Bitterclaw. I am officially Bitterstar now.
Bitterstar, she echoed. She then realized that him being leader meant Autumnstar had passed. Are you doing okay? How is your clan?
They're grieving. He tipped his head in respect. But they'll soon learn that they didn't lose much. I'll lead them to more strength, prosperity, and valor than they've ever known.
Dovebreeze looked at the wild look in his eyes as he referred to his own leadership with such integrity. He seemed to have his life planned out, and Dove didn't even know what she was eating later. I'm happy things are going well for you, she purred with sincerity. Things have been a bit troubled on my end.
Bitter's gaze fell dull. How so?
Not knowing where my mind is leading me, she chuckled nervously. Sometimes I feel like I'm not helping my clan much. They don't seem to notice when I'm out here with you, or when my nest is left empty.
Oh, you feel unseen. That's silly, really. How could you be invisible when you're with me? Our connection is something that should lead you to walk around the world with much more confidence, not shell off in the corner of your camp. Just take bigger strides. You've got me, after all.
But you're not there, she whined. If I had you beside me, I wouldn't feel so small. She looked down at her paws. This didn't help much.
Lift your chin up. He lifted it with his tail. Does the thought of me not fill your chest with pride and joy? That should be more than enough to carry you throughout the day.
Dovebreeze pulled away from his tail, but kept a fond expression. She felt a growing wave of melancholy swell inside her as her feelings were dismissed. He's just busy being a leader, she thought, trying to justify it. She felt uneasy, mentally and physically.
Now, I really must tend to my clan. Once more, chin up. I'll see you later.
Dovebreeze walked to the fresh kill pile, cooled off by the night sky. She tried to brush Bitterstar's words off as she looked for prey. She stepped back, allowing the queen to get her pick. Lavender moved towards the pile, but paused with a curious expression. She'd been a queen for several moons, and had a sharp sense for it. You should eat more than that little squirrel, since you're eating for more than yourself now. What? Dovebreeze blinked. You must have the wrong cat. I'm not a queen. She nervously flicked her tail. She tilted her head in surprise. She hadn't expected a response like that. Oh? Not going to retire to the nursery yet? It's dangerous to do a warrior's duties in your condition. She tried again. My condition? The realization of what Lavender Aroma was implying was creeping up on her, but it was held back by her doubt. The queen, perplexed by now, lightly turned towards the she-cat in concern. Are you not aware? She mewed. Maybe it's obvious to us queens, but are you not expecting? Expecting! She piped. Me! With kits! It seemed like a joke. She settled her tone, pausing for a moment to think. Do you think I am? Lavender was suddenly very unsure of herself. She hesitantly wondered if she had approached this the right way. I thought so. There's just this glow to you, Dovebreeze. Perhaps I was wrong. She trailed off. She was so sure. Lavender awkwardly grabbed a piece of fresh kill. Sorry, she muttered. Perhaps she was wrong. The interaction felt so strange. Glow? Dovebreeze lingered on the queen's words. After they left, she put the squirrel back. She wasn't hungry anymore. She lay in the nest, staring down at the ground. Maybe that is what she was feeling. Oh, StarClan. She curled up in the nest, Bitterstar's eyes burnt into her mind. She was adamant she could fix this. Fix his unusual view of the world. Would Kits change his mind? She fell asleep to the thought. She couldn't sleep. Her mind was racing. She got up, praying. She followed her own stale scent back to Fortress, tired on her paws. He wasn't here. For the first time, when she actually needed him, he was nowhere to be found. She decided to wait. She wasn't sleeping anyway. She sat in a nice spot, leaning against the tree to support her exhausted body. She closed her eyes, thinking about nothing other than the grass and leaves swaying around her as she waited.
He paused to the side of her. You're up early. He patted next to her.
She struggled to meet his gaze, but at the same time tried to pretend there was nothing that she had to hide. I wanted to talk to you. She scooted away from the tree as she spoke.
Be my guest. Bitterstar scanned her up and down.
She didn't know where to start, so she simply blurted, "We should leave."
He was taken aback. What?
The clans. To be together. No more worry, no more structure. She looked at him desperately. We have to leave.
What's got you thinking about that? He chuckled to himself, thinking this was a joke.
Bitterstar, listen. She moved to face him. I know everything you've done to get to where you are. Everything you worked for and sacrificed. But we could make something more than that. More than leader of ThunderClan. We could be together, Bitterstar.
You're being serious. He stood up and faced, opposing her.
It would be good for us. Your status in your clan, it takes up so much of your time. Your ambition. You only do the things you do because the clan demands it. But you're more than that.
Wait. Are you saying you think ambition is a flaw? The fur on his back began to rise.
No, you should be okay with just this. Her tone was falling into more of a plea.
What? Do you not want to be the best? How could my mate not strive to be the greatest?
Bitter, of course I want to be good at things. Every cat does. I see the warriors hunt and I think maybe I could catch the bigger prey, but it doesn't drive the things I do. There's only so many cats that can be the best.
You lack ambition. You lack drive. And you'd rather see me lose all I've worked for before you gain a spine. All this time and you haven't learned a single thing from me. You need to let your wants guide you, not your fears.
What you think I lack is the very thing you're blinded by. I don't want this mindset to hurt you.
Me? Get hurt? Who exactly do you think I am?
What happens when you finally get what you want? Is this not enough for you? Will you ever be satisfied with what you have? She cried.
Maybe not with you.
She wanted to run and shout at him, tell him everything and about the kits, but she froze. She sank her claws in the grass, tearing it out of the ground as she walked away. She continued to storm through the forest, entering the moorlands. Her mind was screaming at her. They both knew how this would end.
Bitter padded into the empty clearing and waited. The waiting soon turned into wondering as no dove appeared. He thought to himself, why in the name of Star Clan isn't she here? She had a lot of apologizing to do after the stunt she pulled last night. To think he'd give up everything for her? Impossible. Quite literally reckless and inconsiderate, he thought to himself as he padded off.
Dovebreeze looked at her kits, an unreadable expression, but her eyes showed nothing other than love. One of them looked like him, but she had Dovebreeze's gentle eyes and stripes. Sweet kit, she hummed. And the other his build, but his colors belonged to his mother. Pigeon kit. She looked up, breathing, pausing. Smogfrost. Dove, he halted, a flash of shock written on his expression. His jaw dropped slightly. You, he cleared his throat. You kidded? I wasn't aware you were. He trailed off. I didn't know either, she said with a weak smile. That makes two of us, then, he chuckled, but his expression was one of worry. They're beautiful, Dovebreeze. Are you alright? I'm okay, but she looked at her kits. I'm worried for them. Smogfrost, they're half ThunderClan. Smogfrost's expression faltered to one of knowing, but wilted. He glanced at the ground for a moment before he peered back. Should we tell Tumblestar? He could protect them. How? She looked at Smogfrost with terrified eyes. What if he exiles me? I can ask him myself, he offered. The situation was worrisome at best. Me and Tumblestar are much closer. It may be their only shot. I know he'd never exile you with such vulnerable kits. Okay. I'm sorry, Dovebreeze. I'll do my best. She began to clean her kits, trying to make them presentable. Tumblestar, she dipped her head.
Almost said at Dovebreeze. You have kits. And then the kits below. I didn't know you had it in you. He turned to Smogstar. What's so urgent about this?
The kits aren't fully WinClan, he nodded to the she. Dove wanted to speak with you about it.
Tumble nodded, flicking his tail in dismissal at Smogfrost, wanting to speak to the now queen alone.
Smog offered the she a sympathetic glance as he exited. They're half ThunderClan. She looked down at her kits. I'm worried, Tumblestar. If the other clans find out, these kids will be alienated and ridiculed for the rest of their lives. The secret needs to stay with one clan, please, she begged.
Tumble listened to Dovebreeze, patting forward to sit in a nest before responding. I will keep your kits and your secret safe here in WinClan, as long as you tell me who their father might be.
ThunderClan's leader, Bitterstar. That's why I'm so worried. He doesn't know about them. I don't trust that he won't storm into WinClan demanding they be returned to ThunderClan.
Tumble nodded, looking at the kits as they mew. What wonderful WinClan kits. I will make sure they remain protected, he spoke softly. Smogfrost and I will see to it that other clans believe you are exiled. Just don't leave camp so Bitterstar doesn't know you and your kits are here.
Thank you, she breathed. She had nothing else to say.
Tumble looked one last time at the kits before nodding to Dovebreeze and walking out.
She lay back down, curling around her kits in a tight hold.
He saw the lanky Tom but said nothing, waiting.
Smogfrost knew that he came to the right place when the scent of ThunderClan hit his nose. Bitterstar, he said curtly.
Correct. And who might you be? His gaze giving nothing away.
Smogfrost, he answered. I've come to send you a message from WinClan. Tumblestar has discovered yours and Dovebreeze's meetings. She's been exiled, and you won't be seeing her around here again. He kept his voice level, yet firm.
Bitter looked to the lanky Tom, sizing him up. Oh, exiled. I haven't the faintest idea of who you're referring to, but good riddance to another Moorrunner, I suppose.
Smog's eyes narrowed in judgment. Such a callous way to talk about your own mate. I see. Perhaps we were mistaken. I just thought you should know.
Keep your hair chasing to your own territory. It's the least you can do. His gaze drifted off the lanky Tom and onto the rock in the clearing.
Then I expect you to do the same. Keep your business far from Wind Clan. He followed the cat's gaze to the rock. He glanced at the Tom from the corner of his eye. Farewell.
He waved his tail, but said nothing more.
Dovebreeze watched the two kids play, purring. Shadow selected a morsel from the pile and patted to the new queen. Food, he said in a simple greeting. It had been a few weeks since they were born. They were fast and strong now, and Dovebreeze hadn't left camp. Thank you. Poor cat had been confined, yet Shadow had little clue why, distracted by the adorable kits. Careful, not to step on them as she backed up. Do you want to try? She placed the rabbit down. How's everything been, Dovebreeze? She watched the kits chew on the rabbit. She looked at Link's call, eyes softening. Good, really. These two are my world. That's good. What are their personalities like? Unclear for now. They're still growing. But they're both so nice. She looked at the flowers Sweet Kit had dropped. I'll leave you to them. Let me know if you need any help. Link's call spoke, looking at the she with a soft gaze. They gave a small smile at her. Of course, she purred. Is that moss? She looked up at Shadowclaw. Shadow liked seeing kits. They were very small, fragile and almost defenseless. She dropped the moss ball and nudged it towards them. Figured. You could use some entertainment, Shadow replied, curling her very sharp claws away from the kits. They were distracted now, and Dovebreeze could relax. She longed for fresh air and the moor. She thought for a bit, considering her options. She wanted to ask, one kit in particular, one very reminiscent feature, but silenced the worries. Sure you can't go on one walk? I'm considering just walking to the fallen branch and back, she answered. As you wish. It's terrible to be confined to a camp. Shadow glanced to the kits. And what of them? They're plenty distracted, and if you'd like to help, you may keep an eye on them. Link's call and Smogfrost may help you. Oh, if you'd permit me to, that would be lovely. Shadow so missed looking after her younger siblings. For once, her tone held emotion. As you were, she left the queen, figuring she shouldn't bother too much. I heard my name? She spoke, looking at Dovebreeze. I was about to ask if you wanted anything to eat. Thank you. She stood with a stretch. I was gonna see if you'd watch after my kits, but Shadowclaw is keeping an eye out. It wouldn't hurt to have an extra set of eyes, though. I don't mind. I'll watch them for you. Everything okay? Of course, she lifted her head, just stretching my legs. They gave a nod. She padded along the edge of camp. The further away from 4 trees, the better. She was safe this way. Bitterstar wouldn't spot her and accuse the clan of breaking the code. And more important to her, he would never know that she lied. She stepped onto the log, stretching and scratching at the bark. No cats, no noise. She basked in the sunlight in peace. She thought of her kits, happy in camp, and she'd see their faces again soon. But for now, this was for her self-found peace.
Dove? Oh, thanks, StarClan. I've wondered where you've been. Smogfrost told me what happened. I was so worried for you.
The look in her eyes gave her away in an instant. She watched Bitter's gaze grow distant, scanning her. She watched him calculating. She opened her maw to speak, but no words came.
His gaze now frozen cold. Wait. You're still here, in WindClan territory. Relaxing. You don't seem hungry. You don't look exiled. You don't even smell of the barn. What is this? Are you trying to get away from me?
She stood, swallowing dryly. I'm sorry. Her apology wasn't one of regret, but a simple wish that things had turned out differently. I had things I needed to protect.
Things? What are you saying? What are you hiding? Why are you hiding? I need answers on what exactly is going on here. Now.
You're finally interested in what I have to say? She snapped. Where was that when I needed you? She stepped forward.
That's your excuse? None of this makes sense. someone said something, didn't they? They found out about us and are threatening you. Whoever it is, I'll handle it.
Leave WinClan alone, she hissed. No cat is to blame for this. Look at me, Bitterstar. Why can't you stop for 1 second and think about what I want? That maybe I had something to do with this.
It was Smogfrost, wasn't it? That pretentious, lanky Tom turned you against me. It's okay. I can take you to ThunderClan. We can get through this.
Let it go, Bitter! If you take me to ThunderClan, every cat will know what we had. Is that what you want? You want me to walk into WinClan and tell everybody you're spending your nights with me?
What are you saying? Are you threatening to go public about us?
That's what you're worried about. She slammed her paws against the ground. It was like talking to a rock.
You wouldn't do that, though. Right, Dove? I need you to look at me and say you wouldn't do that.
What, are you scared? I didn't think that was possible. She mocked, tired. Oh, fearful Bitterstar. She began to walk towards the barn, intent on leaving, but not leading him to WinClan camp.
His thoughts racing, his heart pumping. He instinctively looked up. Forgive me. He turned and pounced on a dove.
She let out a screech as powerful paws nailed her in the spine. She instantly toppled under the weight. She rolled, pushing her front paws against his neck, but refusing to claw at his throat. You, she wavered. You loved me.
Bitter closed his eyes as he dug his claws deeper. He couldn't dare look. You lied to me. Anguish building.
She tried to turn her body away from the claws, but she couldn't. It was helpless. She stared into his eyes as the life drained from her own.
Bitter opened his eyes just in time to watch the life fade from hers. He unsheathed his claws and stumbled before falling down. He looked at the stars once more. Why? Why did you make me do this? Why? He clawed at the ground furiously. He yelled. Why? Why would StarClan will this? Why would they let Smogfrost turn her against me? Wait. This is all his doing. All his. His yowls turned to sobs. I didn't want to do this. Why did he make me do this? I didn't want to. He stared at the blood staining his claws. He couldn't dare look back. I can't believe he took her from me. She was mine, and he took everything from me. Hear me now, StarClan. Smogfrost will rot. I will avenge her. You willed it to be so. I will trust in you. Trust this wasn't for nothing. He slowly got up and padded off, looking to the stars once more.